Hello, this is Ian, and in this video I'm going to review this snowboard boot. It is a TM3, a 32 TM3 Loon Mountain snowboard boot. Loon Mountain part is, I guess they were like a sponsor for, 32 was a sponsor for Loon Mountain ski area in New Hampshire for help building their parks and stuff. Loon's always had really good parks, and so it's kind of limited edition boot. And I just bought this boot, and I've ridden it 2 times. I did heat molding before I bought this boot, and what do I think about it? I think it's slightly too big for me. Now, initially, I tried on my old Burton boots are like a size 9.5, and so I was originally thinking of I was doing research on a lot of boots, and I was originally thinking of buying this in a 9.5 and online. And then I went to a shop and I saw this, and I first tried on the 9.5, but it felt like, okay, this is gonna break in. It's, yeah, probably gonna get too big. So then I got this one, the 9, and so my foot. Just to note, my foot measures, I have one foot that measures 27.5 on the Brannick scale, and another one that measures about 27, and that's like a 9.5 and like a 9, about. So now this boot compared to, I also tried on the Lash Premium, and the TM2, and the JP Walker, but the JP Walker is an 8.5 just to compare after fact. Now the 9, this boot felt slightly bigger in the toe area compared to the 9s, the other 32 boots. So it could have a larger toe box area than the other boots by 32. It's a pretty beefy boot. It's comes with some bells and whistles things that you can kind of customize. This is like an arch inside. Here, hold on a second. I have to get some stuff here. So this is inside. Read those directions before you try heat molding. Okay, I recommend that. You've got these things, these little donut-looking things that you can slip inside the liner. I'm not taking the liner out because it's very difficult to take out. Let's see a little bit inside. The liner is kind of orange colored, and it's kind of what's it called? Intuition. It's hard to see. Yeah, it's kind of a firm. It's not like a regular snowboard binding that's soft. It is soft inside, but it's got a little bit external, kind of semi-soft, kind of plasticky sort of thing. It's like 4 to 6 on the flex scale. You got these little plastic things that you can put in the back to make the boot stiffer. I found this boot to feel pretty stiff out of the box, actually, so I took these out. My old boots are Burton drivers, which are supposedly stiff. They're not the Driver X, they're the Driver, which was before the Driver X. So they were considered pretty stiff, I think, at the time, stiffer than the Rulers. But yeah, this boot definitely felt too stiff, or not too stiff, too big, a little too big. So I did heat molding, and I rode them 2 days, and within those 2 days, by the end of the second day, I started to feel my left foot kind of moving a little in the boot. And now it was kind of a trip because these are 9 and my other boots were 9.5, so I thought originally, okay, these are smaller. I kind of wanted to like my old Burton boots, or like my toe hits the front walking around. They're not that comfortable, but I'd also noticed that sometimes the boot during the day when I was riding and stuff would kind of loosen up a little in the inside, and So yeah, the sizing thing, I think I'm going to make another video about that because I definitely learned a lot about that. But these boots, they come with a bunch of arches, and they come with these sort of customizable footbeds. This thing you can remove and put a different sized footbed on it. One of mine got messed up. I don't know if it came that way, or if the shop guy that did the heat molding forgot to take it out. I kind of think the latter. So it's a little deformed and just doesn't work correctly, not without pain now. So I kind of went back and complained the next day a little bit about it, just saying like, hey, this is messed up. These are not the same. This one seems okay, looks fine, but this one, you can see the heel area looks kind of messed up, and you can feel that when you ride. So what he did is he gave me a new footbed to put in this, but it's not the same. They didn't have any of these. And 32. Okay, 32 I think is a little bit not that cool actually, because they may make good boots, but trying to contact them is like impossible. Before I even bought these boots, I contacted them at least 2 times, and I never got a reply. The contact form on the website is broken. Doesn't work. Like, you'll write a message, push send, and all of a sudden you get a blank. It doesn't appear to work. And anyways, the shop gave me this, and shop gave me this, which is like I think they retail for $40 or $50 in their shop to replace it. It's not quite the same because you can't customize it, but I guess some people, from what I understand, take stock footbeds out of snowboard boots and buy new ones like this. It's probably going to give you a little more support, but like I said, it's not customizable like these other ones. This is a mid-size. They have lows and mids and highs. So 32, I've emailed them 3 times now total. I never got a single response for any of them. 2 were before I bought the boot, and before I bought the boot, I was asking some questions about like the TM2, the Lashed, all these other boots, the Lash Premium and stuff, and I never got a reply. So like, I saw some videos of like them on one of their guys like on YouTube, and like they're big popular snowboard boot companies, been around for a long time. This is my first time I ever bought their boots, but I'm gonna fuss with that later. So what else? Did I miss anything? So you get 3 customizable options that I said. These little donut things. Recoil rods you put in the back here. You got 2 of them. The boot was very stiff when I first rode it. I guess a newer boot's gonna be stiff. I'm gonna put this down. Pretty stiff when I first rode it, and responsive. So that was good. Definitely feeling like it's gonna break in. The boot's gonna break in, right? So riding it 2 days and then comparing it to 20 days later, so you can leave a comment, let me know how things turned out with this boot. I think I will be selling these boots because I think they're a little bit too big. Only 2 days. I did do heat molding on it, and I'm starting to feel a little play inside the boot, and I don't like that. So I think I'm gonna try to get this boot in, or possibly a TM2 in an 8.5. Which sounds kind of strange because most of my street shoes are 10, 10.5. I actually even have 11. It's a little bit too big. That's my street shoe. But like I said, I measure 27.5. 1 foot measures almost 9.5, and another one measures almost 9. So I don't know. It'd be cool if companies had some sort of universal scale measurement for these sizes. So the boot is a $450 boot. Is it worth $450? Well, that's a lot of money. I don't really think it's worth $450. I mean, the customization is pretty cool. So that's what you're paying for, but you know, I don't know, like you can kind of play with stuff, take the rods out if you want, or add them in later, like depending on what, if you're gonna ride a bunch of powder or just be like going super fast down the mountain, then maybe you want a stiffer boot, or maybe you want a more flexible boot. So that's a cool thing about it, but you're paying a lot more money to get that customization. Um, is it worth it? I mean, I don't know. I don't really think it's worth $450, but that's for you to decide. And yeah, otherwise, pretty good. Like I said, I did I say I tried on the Lash Premium and the TM2, and um, this boot definitely felt a little bigger in this area in comparison. Um, Traction is pretty good on this boot. I did notice that when I first got on it. Definitely pretty grippy. I don't think this area is waterproof up here. This stuff looks pretty waterproof. Not breathable. And yeah, it's a pretty bummer. It's a fairly heavy boot too. Someone else, if you look at other reviews, it is fairly heavy compared to like some of the other 32 boots that you can get. Probably the rubber and probably this stuff here, and maybe even the liner. The liner's got, like I said, is a little bit more harder. There's also this little harness thingy. I never really saw pictures of that. So basically, this liner here has no, doesn't have any sort of laces or anything on the liner. It's got a Velcro strap on the top, and then you get this liner, which is actually attached to this shell of the boot here, and then you cinch this down. It's like one of those drawstring pulley things. Got a little button on it. Pull it down, and that cinches you in. So you can check the comments below, and I'll either leave a comment or update the description to see what happened with this boot. And so my plans at the moment, actually, I'm thinking to sell this boot and get a half size smaller. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, let me know. This is Ian.